Good morning, champions. Good morning. So, today we are going to be learning about subject, verb, agreement, and context clues. So, students will be able to use subject, verb, agreement correctly in reading and writing. So, what is the subject, verb, agreement? Well, a verb that tells about an action that is happening now is in the present tense. Verbs in the present tense have two forms. The correct form to use depends on the subject of the sentence. So we need to add a S to the verbs when the noun in the subject is singular, unless the subject is the pronoun I. And we do not add an S to the verb when the noun in the subject is plural. So I know you are saying, Dr. Daniel, what are you talking about? What do you mean? So let's look at my example at the bottom. A man walks up a hill. Well, it is one man, right? So for walk, which is the verb, we have to add an S. But what happens if we have two men? Well, two men, they don't walks up the hill, they walk up a hill. So if it's singular, meaning there is only one person or one noun, then we add the S. When it's two and it's plural, we do not add the S. Let's practice. So here's some rules. A singular subject goes with a singular verb. The teacher helps me with my work. A plural subject goes with the plural verb. The teachers help me with my work. Okay? So in the first example, the teacher, it's one, she helps me with my work. But in the second one, we have two teachers. So the teachers help me with my work. Let's look at you. So Arlene, because it's just Arlene, she talks to her friend. Because it's just Jaden, he writes his spelling words. Because we just have one dog, the dog eats my homework. And my father runs down the street. But what happens if we have more than one noun? Well, Arlene and Bailey both talk to their friends. Jaden and David write their spelling words together. All of the dogs eat the food, and my parents run in the morning. Does that make sense? All right, you are going to practice, okay? This is what you're going to do. You are going to look at each of the sentences, and you are going to pick the correct word. Some climbers pick flowers along the path. Some climbers picks flowers along the path. Did you see what Dr. Daniel did? I read the sentence with each of the words so that I can hear which one sounds better. But remember the rule: singular noun, singular verb. Plural noun, plural verb. Got it, got it? All right. Here's another practice. The plane travel or travels 3 hours between cities. My cousins visit or visits during their break from school. And then here are some more. So you really want to make sure you're listening to this video to help you with these questions. Next, we're going to be looking at context clues. Now, context clues helps us figure out a word that we may not know the meaning to. For example, context is the words and sentences around a word. They help you understand the meaning of an unfamiliar word. Sometimes context clues gives us a definition of the word. It kind of gives us a little hint. It cheats, it helps us out a little bit. Other times they give an example that helps you understand the word's meaning. Context clues can also help you make an inference or a smart guess about the word's meaning. So let's practice. Take a minute and read this passage. Did you read it? There is little to no life on the continent of Antarctica. The harsh, that's the word we're looking for, environment makes it very difficult for living creatures to survive. It is the driest continent. There is little growth of any plants, so there is nothing for animals to eat. The cold and wind make it nearly impossible to survive. So now we have to be detectives. What does the word harsh mean as it's used in this passage? So let me go back to the sentence. The harsh environment makes it very difficult for living creatures to survive. I see frigid, unpleasant or harmful, interesting, enjoyable, and amusing. So I'm going back and it says the harsh environment makes it very difficult. So I know that it cannot be enjoyable and it can be interesting. So now I have eliminated B and D. So now I'm looking at frigid. I know frigid means cold because I think of a refrigerator. Then the next one, unpleasant or harmful. The harsh environment makes it very difficult for living creatures to survive. It is the driest continent. There is little growth of any plants. There is nothing for animals to eat. Well, I know when something is harmful, that means that it is not doing any good. It's hurting somebody or it's hurting something. So it sounds like that the Antarctica is a very harmful environment for living creatures to survive. So I think C is the correct answer. So you are going to practice. You're going to read these passages and you're going to figure out what the underlying word means using the context clues. You think you can do that? I think you can. Here's your second passage that you're going to do. And then finally, your third passage. All right, champions. Now, next week when we get together, we're going to play Kahoot. So I hope you are ready and I hope you've paid attention. All right, champions. Good luck. I'll see you next week.